Imagine landing your dream internship, only to discover it's a carefully crafted trap to squeeze every ounce of creativity out of you, then toss you aside like garbage. This isn't a fictional tale. It's exactly what happened to one graphic designer in early 2023. A ruthless manager, a rigged contract, and a company built on exploitation. But what they didn't expect was payback. This is a story of quiet revenge, ruthless manipulation, and sweet justice. Stick around, because the ending, it's worth every second. So, this happened in early 2023. I was looking for a part-time graphic design job since freelancing was not paying enough. Job hunting was pretty hard since there were so many applicants, and after a lot of back and forth, I ended up being accepted for a 3-month internship. The internship had a 3-week probation period, which, oddly, had a substantially lower pay rate compared to the post-probation period. Regardless, I started working, and in the orientation meeting, the first red flag appeared. We were given our first task, which was essentially marketing work. Our team consisted of 10 members, and each one was provided with a task that should have been done by their marketing team. My task was to look up and compile SEO keywords related to the beverages the company was selling. This went on for 2 days, as there was too much data to compile. By the end of this, already 5 members had quit. That should have been my first clue. But boy, was I naive. I continued to work and received my first designing task, which was to come up with a mock-up for one of their beverages. I had worked with mock-ups in the past, so I made something exceptionally well. And after the remaining 5 of us submitted our work, in the evening another 2 members were removed from the group. Turned out, this mock-up was a test to find out our caliber and if we brought anything good to the table. I found this ridiculous, since they could have done this during the interviews. And now the team of 10 was cut to 3. Then we received our second task, an actual designing task. This is where things started to go downhill. The details of this task were that we had to make 3 social media posts for every day of the week and decide what hashtags they would use for each post. And that was pretty much it. No style guide, no descriptions of what they were expecting to see, no color schemes. We were to just freeball it, based on the hashtags alone. And that's exactly what we did. We made what we felt was fitting. For the hashtags, we were provided and sent over our work. Next morning, all 3 of us were pulled into a meeting by the manager, where he chewed us out and berated us for a straight 15 minutes, rambling on and on about how our work was not up to standard and not meeting their expectations. Another team member got so fed up that she quit right then and there. After that, the manager calmed down and told the remaining 2 of us the goals we were expected to fulfill every day, to make at least 30 images to post on the company's social media handles from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then, in the remaining 1 hour, we had to make the changes in the images, as pointed out by the manager. The changes could be minor, or involve completely remaking the images from scratch, and we were expected to also do overtime to fulfill these goals, which would not be compensated. I was ready to quit right then and there, but decided to hold off. After the meeting, I went back and reread my contract. And this time, that 3-week probation period stuck out like a sore thumb. Everything clicked into place. They wanted us to work like mad dogs every day, so that each of us would be outputting about 630 images in those 3 weeks, setting the company up nicely for a long time. Then, when the end of the probation period rolled around, they would just fire us, paying only a fraction of what they would have to pay a professional for way less work than what we were doing. This was a wild guess, but it was later confirmed. By snooping around and chatting with some previous people who worked there, I was furious and started planning how I would get back at them. In the meantime, I worked as best as I could. After 2 days, the opportunity came running to me when my manager told me that the next day I'd be working on designing posts for an upcoming product launch in 2 days. I started my plan by first convincing the other team member to quit as well. I showed him the proof, and he was immediately on board. Then I spent the rest of the day doing essentially nothing and just giving the manager fake updates on the task. Then came the time of exporting and sharing the work with him. He was really excited, and I told him that my PC was slow as hell and was taking more time to export the files. An obvious lie, since my PC is pretty efficient. I then told my teammate to send in his message that he quit. The contract explicitly stated that an employer can fire any employee on immediate notice at any time, as well as that an employee could also quit with immediate notice. After my teammate quit, I waited 15 minutes and sent in my quitting message as well. The manager was probably not reading anything because he didn't respond till 5 p.m. After that, he went berserk, blasting my phone with messages and calls, requesting, pleading, threatening, everything he could think of. I just let him know that I was recording everything, and that shut him down quickly. I didn't hear anything from him or the company after this. I later found out that he was fired from his position, since HR was suspicious about the amount of employees quitting under him. Apparently, my stunt made them believe something was going on, and it turned out he was tampering with the employee contracts under him. The lower probation pay rate was never part of company policy. He was just pocketing the rest of the money and taking all the fame for having the highest productivity rates. Since then, I've stopped working as a graphic designer full-time, and now only take freelance projects from people I know and trust. I'm focusing more on my studies, and have started tutoring kids instead. It can be challenging at times, but teaching others brings me a lot of joy and fulfillment. This experience taught me a lot about workplace realities and the importance of standing up for yourself. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, remember, knowing your rights and having a plan can make all the difference. Some internships teach you skills, others teach you survival. But for this designer, it taught something far more valuable: how to fight back without ever raising your voice. If you enjoyed this story of cold revenge and quiet justice, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share with someone stuck in a toxic job. And if you think this was satisfying, wait until you hear what happened to the accountant who caught her husband stealing both her money and her future. That one is next. You've been watching Revenge with Grant. Stay sharp, stay calm, and never forget: karma doesn't knock, it kicks the door down.